I never told anyone much about this personal story, but this year I decided to share a piece of it with you. This movie is still the best instance of how a Catholic film can show so much and mean so much without being preachy. It's the main reason I started this. In a little cinema of a small town somewhere in Australia, a 15-year-old was taken for a treat to watch a film that was top on the list of his most anticipated film of the year. It was probably the only film he was looking forward to watching that year. 2004 was that year. Some of his friends had seen it during the early weeks of its opening premiere. They came back to tell him that it was all worth the money. And this got him even more excited. Now it was his turn. It turned out that even a month or so later, it was still screening in this little cinema. The attendance was few that night, and accompanied by a seminarian and a religious brother, he sat at the middle aisle, not too close, not too far from the screen, to witness Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. A river of tears was shed by him, and not the tears shed for a mother, a father, or sibling, nor the tears shed for the loss of a woman loved by him, for he was far too young to even comprehend that. But that young river comprehended the culmination of all that was taught to it. That all its deep and darkest deeds, committed whether in thought, word, or deed, were written in the bloody drips on the Garden of Gethsemane. It echoed in the lies and spits of the Jews, the bruises, the wounds, the scars of the scourging, the mockeries of the Romans. In the end, it was sealed in the deep eyes of grief, the eyes that spoke of sorrow, pity, and love of Christ's beloved mother. Never before had any film done such a thing that 15-year-old boy. And now, 22 years later, Good Friday had never been the same for him. In fact, it made this day all the better for him. Hello there. If you've reached this part of the video, I'd just like to take a moment to thank you for watching these videos. And if you would kindly like and subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it. It is the free thing that you can do to support my endeavors into making the next films that will inspire you to the truth and beauty of Catholicism, the truth of the beauty of God's will. That is the number one free thing that you can do. If not, you can always support me on buymeacoffee.com. I'll be posting the episodes earlier before it reaches YouTube, and you get early access there, as well as other exclusive posts that will not be on any other platform, whether it's on my Instagram or other social media links. So check it out in the links below on buymeacoffee.com, and I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for being here. Now, back to the video. He speaks the story here with you now, as if it was just yesterday. It's all true. I never told anyone much about this story, but this year I decided to share a piece of it with you. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps you may resonate with that, if you're someone who feels things as deeply and personally as I do. And I suppose it's because this film allowed me to see the potential of what films can inspire in people. It's the main reason I started Memorare Films. This movie is still the best instance of how a Catholic film can show so much and mean so much without being so preachy, all by showing you what Christianity truly means by actions, by example, and distinguish good versus evil and how good triumphs through suffering. While movies today preach more about how evil can be good and good can be evil, this is a film that remains timeless because it speaks of the truth. Omnes qui veritatem audiunt, vocem meam audiunt. All who hears the truth hears my voice. I invite you to watch this film today on Good Friday, wherever you're at, whatever belief you follow, even if you don't understand it at all. Because I believe there is something there for you if you earnestly watch and listen closely to this sorrowful mystery. Even if it's not for an immediate effect, it may touch you in some part of your life, at some other time in your life. For God's grace works in mysterious ways and at mysterious times. So thanks for listening to my poetic rambling, and I wish you all a blessed, good, and holy Friday. Click on any of the links in the description below to watch aspects of my filmmaking journey, and I'll see you there.